Hey, Warpugs. So this is going to be a Patreon request. This is Solstice 5. This was requested by Namquam. Now, I know nothing about this, flat out. I know it's set in space. I know it's an animation. That's about it. And I'm loving the lighting already because one thing people don't really understand is the reason that colors are more muted here is because the atmosphere really just provides a lot of, well, ability for that to happen. But I'm looking at this and everything's so bleached and it's just like, yeah, okay, like just this opening thing right here. But anyway, guys, this has been popping up on my feed like constantly over the past few days. Just constantly popping up on my feed. And I wondered if anybody was going to ever want me to check it out. I've gotten kind of gun shy when it comes to checking out things that haven't been put on the request list. There are some things I'm going to check out as soon as I see them. Anything by Rubik's Raptor, because I know you guys want me to check him out. Anything by Cypherius, because, well, hey, he's him. But, Fat Electrician, everything like that. Guys, let's jump into this. It's Solstice 5. Let's just go. Let's find out what this is all about. Alright, here we go. Sorry about that. I started it and I noticed on my other screen, like, for some reason, the image flickered out. I don't know.
Relentless, wasteful, to our image. How can something of our own creation grow so vast it escapes our own comprehension, our own control?
It's just ceaseless, you know? It keeps going, and there's no way you can turn it off. It consumes everything. You just happen to be in the middle of it.
The damn factories have a mind of their own. They're constantly producing these enormous flying diggers and warships, and they're taking over everything. The land, the sea, the sky.
Executives back home, they just keep feeding us lies. The machines never stop. So we're stuck here in the middle of it all, and they want us to keep working like this. It's bullshit.
What is this?
The Continental Alliance say they still need us, but shit, man. These factories, they don't stop, and they don't care. All you see are these diggers everywhere. They just keep coming and coming.
With a gravity slightly gentler than planet Earth, and a terrain rich in metals and liquid hydrocarbons, Solstice 5 was the perfect candidate for the Continental Alliance to establish as one of their main large-scale manufacturing complexes. Unconcerned by its ecosystem and motivated by an unquenchable thirst to control the environment, colossal, entirely autonomous plants were raised from the ground. Mothers to mammoth machines built to crush,
Oh my god,
drill,
look at the
and
detail
annihilate.
on this.
The rich earth of Solstice 5 was shattered, its landscapes disfigured and scarred, its riches harvested, gathered, and transformed. Landscapes that took millions of years to form were wiped out in a single stroke, and their resources allocated for one single purpose: endless production.
I've seen how the warships get built. It's like watching some kind of giant layered manufacturing machine. Sometimes you look away for just a second, next thing you know, there's a brand new cruiser floating above your head. 5, 6 a day. It's crazy, man. It just never stops.
What is this?
Ultimately, this seemingly unbreakable monolith that was the Continental Alliance collapsed under its own weight, revealing its frail and cracked foundation. The automated factories were left untouched and running, while the workers were left in the dark, Indeed, the extensive reach of the Continental Alliance, spanning far and wide, made it simply unfeasible to pull the plug on such a complex system.
The factories are perfect and stable, just as they've always been. We created them to perform specific sets of tasks, which they perform perfectly. This is one of the biggest achievements of mankind, and it is thanks to the Continental Alliance.
He's just making warships.
They don't tell us anything anymore. The factories are still producing for no reason like they have for so many years. And the truth is, nobody can actually stop that from happening. It's the end of the Alliance, they say. So what? Alliance, not the Alliance, doesn't even matter anymore. It's like the world doesn't even know this is happening. And we're so far from home.
Symbols of our inordinate desire to reach permanency in a transitional world, too complex to be shut down and easier to ignore.
What?
The factories were left untouched, perfectly fulfilling their purpose of giving birth to never-ending seas of purposeless machines.
Yeah, the aircraft carrier fields cover most of the land now. So sometimes when we arrive, we can't even bring out our excavators because every square inch of land is covered by ships. It's crazy, man. So, you know, we just turn around and we go back home. It's a shit ton of wasted fuel, man.
What is going on?
Fuck out of here! Oh my god!
What was their great plan? They bombed all the factories.
What is this?
I swear to God, and once the smoke cleared, the factories just carried on, unaffected.
There were no casualties. Only empty factories and cruisers were targeted. We would never jeopardize the safety of our workers.
I smell bull.
We thought we were part of something important, you know? We came all the way here chasing promises of a better future. But instead of witnessing its birth, we found ourselves entwined in its demise. In between worlds, in between times. It's tragic to realize that the only thing that matches the enormity of this situation is its failure.
The scientific community has firmly theorized that the markings present over the entire surface of Solstice 5 are of intelligent origin. Crafted through a principle of weather-controlled erosion spanning across millennia, while the process and reasons for it remain a mystery. It implies a complete mastery over the elements maintained over millions of years. The Continental Alliance dismissed the findings and eventually explained the markings as a natural process of erosion and non-intelligent origin. Further scientific studies toward the origin of the plant were forbidden once the excavation started. It is believed since the colonization of Solstice 5 started 60 years ago. 40% of the planet has been excavated or turned into a factory.
This is a testimony to our resilient nature in the face of adversity. Should we not stand proud?
No!
Should we not?
Dude, what is this? I'm just gonna let this play because it has more shots. This is so insanely well done. My God. Okay. I didn't know what to think about this. When I thought it was going to be something in space. I didn't know what I was going to be looking at. So the whole premise behind this is this place was colonized. This planet was colonized. It had a highly dense crust with metals, and they just started building They just started building these massive drills. And then endless amounts of the weapons of war. Even after... There is so much for this. Oh my God. This could... Okay, so... This could be a series in its own right. Everything is there. This was so well done. And the thing about it is, it's just the sheer amount of the exploitation of the natural world just to make weapons of war that don't even have a use. There is so much here. And they just sit in a desert. And the thing about it is, I've seen things like this. I've seen the yards of the massive yards of military hardware that the United States keeps, just sitting in a desert, like rows upon rows upon rows of APCs and, you know, Humvees and just all of a sudden it's just sitting out in the middle of the desert collecting rust, and that's all they're doing. So this seems far-fetched until you realize we have fields like this.
And easier to ignore. The factor.
We have fields like this where you just have endless stretches of vehicles going back for what seems like miles. Now, I know it's not miles, but you get the general idea. This is so heavily detailed. This is so heavily detailed in so many areas. It's not clean. Like the newly produced vehicles, it's acting like a 3D printer, a massive ass 3D printer. But I love the rusting of the factory itself. I love how the factory itself does not look new and pristine. It looks old. It doesn't look beat up. It just looks like it's been there doing this for a long time. Oh my God. There's so much. And all to make weapons of war that nobody needs anymore. That is... This is just absolutely incredible in so many ways. Just look at it there, just sitting there. Just sitting in the desert. If you guys want to see something that'll bother you, just look up army depots where they store vehicles and things like that. Like, there's a good amount of them in the deserts. Just like these. And they just sit there collecting rust. This was very well thought out from the ground up. This was I had no idea where this was going. Look at this. Look at the level of detail on, like... Wait. I'm going to find it real quick. There it is. I think that's it. No. Here it is. This is it. Look at this.
The rich earth of Solstice 5 was shattered. Its landscapes disfigured and scarred. Its riches harvested, gathered, and transformed.
It's 3D printing an aircraft carrier. Warpugs, this was awesome. This was awesome because you could do so much with this. Like, you have all of the story. See, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about we need good stories. We need good stories that make us think, that make us see things. And this guy did this. Hats off to all the people that were in this and involved in this, because this was outstanding. Warpugs, I'm going to be putting all the links in the description down below. This was made by Paul Chadeisson. Chadeisson. All of Paul Chadeiссon's links are going to be in the description down below, including the original for this. Subscribe to this guy. I need to see, like, we all need to see more stuff like this. This well thought out and established story. Like, can't you imagine this cut with commercials? Can't you imagine this cut with, like... All it does is build warships. I need one for Stellaris. But, aside from that, I mean, if you can build big battleships in Stellaris, I'm okay with it. But, besides that, this is kind of wild. Warpugs, I'm going to head out. I wish you a Merry Christmas. This is coming out on Christmas Eve. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And thank you for joining me. Leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.